Okay guys, welcome to the garage today. We're on the verge of summer vacations. Spring breaks have already kind of came and gone, and we had some things we wanted to go through here today about getting prepared for your road trip, your summer vacation. I want to make sure you guys are safe out there, and I know we get a lot of questions out there. What do you guys use? What equipment? What things do we need to be aware of when we come to the area? And if we can help you guys to where you don't need us and you're having more fun, well, that's our goal today. So, but beautiful day out today, guys. We've got Dollywood train. If you happen to hear that in the background while we're talking, Dollywood's in full swing again. Got a lot of new things going on at the park, a lot of new rides, and just fun things for everybody. The kiddos will love it. But Gooloo, I've got one here. I've got one that they've sent. I think I've had my older one about a year and a half, but great little jump boxes. This one here is the Gooloo. This is the GT 6000. This one here is it's got about 800 starting current amps. Peak is 6,000. It's got a few things here on the lineup. I'll just let you guys get a look at that. I'm going to pull the other one out of my my toolbox here. I keep one in here. Like I said, this is the older model that they sent me. This is the GTX 280, just a little bit smaller. This one's got about 600 amp, peak current's about 3,000. And let me tell you guys, this is the smaller unit, and I've started diesel trucks and all sorts of things. This one here, I'm just going to show you this one, but it's got a nice little readout on the front there, shows you percentage. And what I like about these is when you go to jump start some things, it's got that heads up display on it, so it's going to tell you, the current readouts of the battery and if the alternator's charging and a lot of those nicer features that the smaller units just don't have. So I really like these because after I leave my customer on a jump start, I know the readout of it, and I feel comfortable sending them on their way. And if it doesn't give me a good reading, then I know that, hey, we probably need to hook up to them and just go ahead and tow them in because the charging system's not doing what it's supposed to. But these guys are great, even in an emergency. If you need your phone charged, if you need some external power to do other things. It's got flashlight on it already, so it's got different modes for SOS and things like that. So after you're done, you can lay this thing out on the road and it'll flash and warn traffic. It folds away nice. The ends come off, and it's got a 12 volts on the end there too. So just got a lot of cool little handle. It's got a lot of nice features. And like I said, guys, this is the older one that I'm going to stuff back in my toolbox. Like I said, it's about a year and a half old. It looks like they've kind of muscled up just a little bit more with this one. It offers just a few more amps for powered up things, but I would assume that it's going to be the same awesome little unit. I'm going to set this down right behind and pull this out of the bag and show you guys this newer model. And it's crazy how the newer models can be slimmer, like this, the GTX. There's the comparison. So this one's actually more power in a slimmer unit, which is nice if you need to throw these in glove boxes or consoles. I know I'm always struggling for room on the tow trucks. It's always something that you have to put in there, but they make it very easy. A plug in, you fire it up, it shows you everything that you need to do on that. Comes with everything in the box that you need. Got a nice little manual that'll give you all of that information that I know you guys, my more technical guys, will want to know all of that stuff. But it's a pretty cool little unit here. We've got the cables for that one. But like I said, guys, this is the Gooloo, the GT 6000. I've got a GTX 280 there that we were using. Just great little units. If you guys are out doing road trips, I highly recommend them. We've actually got Coven out on a he's taking himself a little vacation right now, and it's just one of those things. You try to prepare yourself for your road trip, and I always tell him, don't forget your jump box, Coven. Make sure you've got that, because it could be the difference between you losing total power, and you can set these things in, and it might get you another 10-15 miles down the road to a safe spot versus sitting on the highway, and that's no fun for anybody. So
how often do you have to charge those?
Guys, the charging, Charging on these is that's a good question. I use these on the daily, and we jump start a lot of things, and I try to keep mine plugged in. I'll check on it at least once a week, but I've had one of these that I've not checked on in a month. And we've done several jump starts. Keep in mind, we're a business, we're a company, so I'm keeping these things going. You know, we might do several jump starts per day, and these have held up very nice, very nice. So you got to grab yourself this stuff to keep you guys safe on the roadway, and it offers a lot of other features.
Is it a lithium-ion battery? Do they need to take any safety precautions with that while storing it in their car?
Yeah, guys, that's another thing. The lithium. This has got the lithium unit in there, so you know, make sure you're storing it in a responsible spot. We kind of take for granted our area here. We've got a lot of shade, so you know, my equipment, my tow trucks generally stay pretty cool. But if you guys are living, you know, out west or even further down south where you've got these things and your car can get pretty hot, I would keep it in a cooler environment just for safety. Odds are they're pretty good, and I think they make some fire bags and things like that you guys might want to add on to the equipment here. I know some of those bags are really nice just to store things in case something happens. It's contained to that. But I personally have never had any trouble with it, and you know, we've had stuff sitting out at our lot in the sun. We've had things like that. But it's always better to be safe on that end of it. You know, if you've got it. The bad thing is you want to make sure you don't forget it. So you might have it in a cool spot and you might be charging it and things like that, but just keep yourself a nice little service bag ready for your road trips, and I think that'll help you guys out a lot. As far as service stuff, guys, just keep in mind, try to have yourself a nicer jack. I know we get a lot of phone calls for flat tires and things like that, and these little scissor jacks are just not what they need to be, and they sell a lot of nicer, smaller, compact jacks. Keep that stuff upgraded. Make sure that, you know, if you've got your lug nuts, make sure you don't have a locking lug nut on that car. We get a lot of folks that come to say, well, you know, now I need towed. I got 4 of my lug nuts off and my 5th one is a locking lug nut, and you know, that gets a lot of folks every time. So before you leave, make sure that locking lug nut unit is where you can get to it, and the service guy or the tow truck guy knows that it is in the console or in your to-go bag.
Make sure you have a socket that's going to fit.
Yeah, that's another thing, guys. The socket that's actually going to fit your car. We get that a lot. A lot of the Ford products have like an outer shell on them, like an acorn decorative shell to keep everything looking nice, and that's a great and fantastic idea. But what happens is it gets rounded off, and then the decorative shell on the lug nut ends up flaring out a little bit, and then before you know it, you've got a tool that won't take off even your common lug nut issue there. So just keep a socket set in there. That way, if you need to change sizes, or it's actually a nice socket that fits good and snug, because a lot of the tire tools are a more just a generic style, and we find that people kind of skip those off there. So it's always nice to have a good socket that fits really nice, and gosh, we've just had so many of those that we've had to rescue just for simple things like that. So make sure you've got that in there. Another thing is water. You know, I don't know what I've got around here. I've got a lot of these used jugs just from the shop that I keep around. So put some water in a jug. That'll help you get into the next little pit stop area, that gets you to the next exit if you do happen to lose a radiator hose or something like that. Just keeps things. It might just be a couple more miles that keeps you. But I always say that, just, you know, throw a jug of water in there, and that could help for hands too. If you need to wash your hands, if you're out changing, at least you've got a jug of water that could be for the motor, or rinse your hands off after you changed your tires. Really don't need any cables. A lot of people call and say that, hey, I'm going to need a tow truck now because, you know, and I tried to jump start and it wouldn't start. That brings up Gooloo jump box stuff, guys. Jumper cables were always an amazing thing. That's really all we had years and years ago. But with the jumper cable, you're going to have to get plugged into somebody else's car, and you're going to have to let it sit there for 30, 40 minutes while it's charging. With the jump box, it's instant. There's no I'll plug it in here, I don't have to wait for it to charge things up. So we get that a lot. People think that they have bigger problems because the jumper cables wouldn't start their car, when in reality it just takes a little bit of time to get that battery up where these things kind of take the wait time out of that. So that's another thing. So you really don't need jumper cables if you have the jump box. Little small things too, guys, like black tape, duct tape, zip ties. We get a lot of calls that come in for, hey, can you send a tow truck out to try and secure my lower bumper, or a lot of the newer cars have plastic air dams and skid plates and some aerodynamic things on some of the nicer cars. The Mercedes and the BMWs have a lot of underbelly plastic that, and we run into this because people are running off the roads and we're winching them back up and they've destroyed this underbelly plastic. Or you've ran over a parking curb. Any number of those situations will destroy some of that plastic. So black tape, duct tape, zip ties, that saves you from calling me to come over to zip tie your plastic that happens to be flapping or dragging the ground, or if you've lost your, but we've had people lose their bumpers, the corners of bumpers. You're able to get that stuff zip tied back up, and that will get you at least back into town. If you do a good enough job, it might get you home. Who knows? So those are some of the more common things that we get. Gloves, you never know what you're going to run into. You know, to keep some gloves in the car. You never know who you're going to run upon that might need help. It's just a good thing. The safety kits or the emergency kits with Band-Aids and ace bandages and scissors. I get a lot of people, I get a lot of folks that reach out to me for flashlights. They're like, hey, you guys have some extremely cool, bright flashlights. Kodiak is what we keep in pretty much all the trucks. They're crazy bright, super bright. They're rechargeable. If you don't use the Gooloo, like I said, because it does have its own flashlight on it that you can use. So maybe that might take this out of the equation because this is all in one. You don't need to have everything, but you never know. You never know.
Show them how that flashlight charges.
It's always, yeah, let me see here. Let me set Gooloo down. It's got you twist it up, and it has all the ports under the neck of the flashlight there for all of the charging. And then when you're done, you just twist it back down and power it on, and it's ready to go. And I will not power this thing on because, like I said, it's bright. You guys always ask, wow, that's the brightest flashlight ever. What is it? Where do you get it? But these things are just Amazon purchases for us. You can find the link to any of these items in any video that we air. It doesn't have to be this one. It could be a video from 6-8 months ago. All of those links will be in the bottom of the video there, where you can just click on the Amazon link. It'll take you to everything that we use, everything that we keep on the trucks. And I'm sure I'm forgetting some stuff, guys, but just
I have two things to mention. Trash bags and something to keep your keys safe. A lanyard, a clip, something.
Yeah, that's a great one too. We get a lot of that stuff. And just for our crash calls, guys, we keep some nice thick, I don't know what the mill is on them, but a nice kind of like a leaf bag or a debris bag. We do a lot of our crash cleanups with that stuff. And just keep a roll of them, in there just for that, and they work very well for wet clothes, dirty shoes if you're going on a hike, if you happen to get some accident stuff. It's just a good idea to keep just a few. You don't have to have a bunch. You just keep one or two of those in there for the road trip. That's always something to keep in mind. What was your?
To prevent bears too.
Yeah. You want to make sure that you keep that sealed off. It works very well for the bear to not be invading your space, because you don't want him where he doesn't need to be. There was another one. What was your? Key safety. Just the other day we were called out to Dollywood, and we get this quite often. It doesn't have to be Dollywood. It could be any of the racetracks or the mountain coasters, any of that stuff. They're like, all right, now I'm going to have to get towed to the dealership because I've lost my keys. So grab yourself a lanyard, grab yourself a belly bag, a carabiner, any of those things, guys, to keep those keys safe. Don't just throw them in your pocket and assume that they've been in my pocket for the entire year and I've never had any trouble with it. Well, it's a little different story when you're upside down on a roller coaster or doing a corner on a really cool go-kart. about 60 mile an hour, so those are not going to hold up. So grab yourself something to keep those safe. These are things that we've noticed we get phone calls for. So if we can put that out there, you're not going to need towed to the dealership because you don't have any keys. You're not going to get towed to the tire repair shop because your lug nut safety key is missing, or you don't have a jack, or your battery's dead, and you don't have an awesome Gooloo jump box sitting in the trunk waiting for you that you could turn the flashlight on and change your tire. So these are just really cool things, guys, to keep in mind. We want to try to keep you guys safe when you're here.
Do you want to talk about bear safety?
Bear safety, guys, is a pretty simple thing. Just keep things out of your vehicle. If you're gonna be in town, take your candy, take your fast food travel. You might have stopped and grabbed fast food on your way down, and you think that empty bag of food is okay. I'm not going to fool with it. I'm going to go have fun, and I'm going to leave that in your car. I promise you guys, just a completely empty bag of food will be enough to make that bear open. Or even if your car is locked, then you're going to end up with teeth marks on your door handle. It's going to scratch your nice car. Or if it's unlocked, you're going to end up with in some cases a totaled vehicle. We've taken a lot of vehicles to the junkyard because after that bear gets in there, it just completely destroys your interior. We've had them rip apart cars and dashes and airbags, and it's just not a good thing. Even in the house, guys, if you rent a cabin up in the woods here, we've got some people that say, yeah, we've had 4 or 5 bears patrolling our house. We were cooking some steaks, and now they're making their rounds around. They can smell this stuff, guys. So make sure you're safe. Your door handles, sometimes you'll get lucky and it's just a doorknob. Those are tougher. But if you have one of the Airbnbs that have the handle that pull down, those bears are very smart. They'll just hook a claw even on your door handles. They'll hook a claw, or they'll bite it and they'll open it. So it's very dangerous and very important for you guys to keep that stuff locked if you're in the house, because I know you're cooking some good food and you're not inviting me over for this good food, and yeah, we want to keep you guys safe.
Cracked windows.
Yeah, cracked windows are another good thing. You might think that you got some nasty old soggy hiking clothes and you're trying to air out that car while you're in there. It's just not a good idea, guys. Just the littlest crack, he will hook his claw and he'll pull. We've got a video out there. He's busted into our office on the lot, and we just had some goodies in there that YouTube family has sent us. Candy and stuffed animals and things like that. They can smell anything from miles and miles away, and just the smallest opportunity that you give them, they will take. So just be safe, guys, and always keep that stuff locked up and closed up, and you're just going to have to put up with your stinky clothes. Your hiking good stuff in there is just going to have to smell, because it's just not worth the risk on that stuff. But golly, I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff, guys, that I'm forgetting. If you run out of gas, you're probably just going to have to call me, because I wouldn't recommend anybody having gas cans and stuff like that.
That's the thing on fuel. Don't go up into the park with less than a quarter of a tank.
Oh goodness, guys! Yeah, we've had several calls already for the spring break run here, where folks have been up in the national park, and the park will call us and say, hey, can you go get gas to these folks? Just don't do it. Just don't. Always keep that tank. If you're at half, go fill it up. Don't let it get down to a quarter and think that you can get up into the national park. There's no cell phone service and there's no gas stations. And if you're out doing Cades Cove, or if you're going over to Cherokee, any of those situations are going to require a lot of fuel. The same for me. I learned my lesson the hard way. I've went on winch outs and thought, I got a quarter tank of gas, I'm going to run up here and rescue these people and get back into town, and I will be okay. Well, elevation is the main kicker on low fuel, guys. So if your car's sitting like this and you got a quarter tank, all of a sudden you've got no gas, and we've had to go winch people back up to level ground just so their car would start, just because it's on that incline and the gas is in the back of the tank and you don't have a lot of it. So always keep at least a half tank in there. That'll keep you guys from calling us for something as simple as pull me to level ground so my car will start. Flares, we do keep some road flares.
I don't like using them.
Yeah, certain states, certain counties, cities don't allow these things, so check your local codes for road flares. We've found that people pay more attention to these versus our cones or our lights and our safety vest. These have been a little better. Our national park uses them, but we have some parts that don't. But again, Gooloo does have the SOS mode on it, so if you need to set that down on the ground in flash mode, it does offer that. So these little jump boxes, guys, are they're amazing in an all for what all they're going to offer us. You know, phones and SOSs and jump start capabilities, and it's just a good thing to have around that eliminates a lot of this stuff. Flashlights, it eliminates flares, but it's always a good thing to have just in case. It's always a good backup. You could never have too many safety features or lights. If you guys notice, Big Red have got about 300,000 lights on it. And you can just never have enough as far as keeping everybody safe and things like that. So,
do they need anything reflective for their body?
You know, it's always nice. I'm going to grab some of that stuff too. Yeah, Kristen's trying to help me out here with all the things but vest too, guys. She's mentioned. We're lucky in that YouTube family has sent us some very nice vests, but you can grab these too on Amazon, and they're very thin and they very compact. Like I could wad this up, and I keep these under my seat. We've got them in glove boxes and things like that. So you know that goes a long ways. Barry Lee will keep us safe there and remind us on all that stuff too. So it's just a good thing, you know. We're out changing that tire, even if the Gooloo is there with a flashlight feature flashing, you know, it goes a long way as if people can see you. So I keep I run the electric stuff with me too, guys. It might save you for those lug nut features. So if you get a nice socket that fits your electric impact, it might keep you from the stress of, because at this point I could send this with a kiddo. It takes all of the effort out of it. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to worry about a lot of those things. So it might be something to keep in mind instead of having just the normal lug wrench in your car, because some of the lug nuts are stubborn. We do get calls for that too. Like, I've got it, but I just can't get it off there. I'm not strong enough to get the lug nuts off of there. It really does take all of the effort out of it. And I'm not, you can get any make, model, brand. We do have the rigid stuff. I know the Milwaukee stuff is way nice. Sometimes they get a little pricey, but I started off with a rigid, and I just stayed with that because my batteries are all interchangeable for my Sawzall and my flashlight and my impact, and we've just got all kinds of tools that take the same battery. So I've just stuck with this for but they've held up. They've held up nice, and like I said, you can get that on there. It takes all of the fun out of it because you just take it off, and it's nice
That
and
might
easy.
be better for somebody with like a dually and a camper and all that stuff.
Yeah, if you're going camping, yeah, we do get a lot of that stuff. The campers, like, hey, you know, I've got a flat tire on my camper or something like that. But these do an amazing job and take all of the effort out of it. You're not trying to use that lug wrench that's this long, and you don't have any leverage, and the lug nuts are just crazy tight. But that's just something that I keep on the tow truck to come rescue you guys. It doesn't mean that you have to go to this extreme on that stuff, but you know, sockets, lug nuts, jump starts, you know, air pumps. We do get a lot of people that their spare is flat, so I want to mention that too. Before you leave the house, don't just say that, hey, I've got a spare tire, I've got the jack, I've got the lug wrench, I've got everything to change this. Well, keep in mind, a lot of our phone calls are, you know, I've got all this cool stuff, but my spare tire's flat. So another thing, before you leave the house, check that, and keep in mind, a lot of those spare tires, even though they're donut tires and they're small, they're not just 32 psi. A lot of those smaller donuts need to have 60 to 90 psi in them. So don't just check it and say, hey, it's got 30 pounds, it's fine. It's a smaller tire, but it takes a lot more air pressure. So make sure that you do have, and it'll say on the side of the tire what it needs as far as max cold pressure. So give that a look, get that aired up, make sure you have all those tools, put yourself together a little goodie bag, that way it's safe. You can grab that thing when you're heading out, just throw it in the garage or in the closet before you head out on vacation. That's something that everything can be in one spot, and it will keep you guys from calling the tow truck or us. I mean, you can call us if you want to. We do enjoy helping out, and but it's just some of that stuff that's been on our mind, and Gooloo has been a really good company, and they've sent us they sent that one out, like I said, over a year and a half ago for us to test out, and they've upgraded some stuff, and they're trying to let us know that they are improving. And like I said, I don't know that they could really improve, because I've had that one and I've really neglected it. I've really not charged it very often at all. It's always worked when I've needed it to for all of our customers. I've had it setting in the harshest of environments. We've gotten some 0-degree weather. It's been in the cold, it's been in the hot, and it's just always worked. So, you know, that's it's one of those things for you guys that have reached out to me and say, hey, what do you use? What do you keep on the trucks? This is one of them, and it's just one of those things to keep on the rig. Keep on the rig. But I think that's about it as far as tools. But yeah, guys, just keep all that stuff safe in a goodie bag there, just in case you need it. It's always nice to have a peace of mind to know that you can self-rescue if you need to, because some of our areas are low, especially National Park, on cell phone signals. So, and a towel. Keep a towel there just in case. We do a lot of recoveries and stuff when the pouring down rain, and it's nice to jump in the truck and have a nice warm dry towel that you can dry yourself off when you get back in. Hand tools, pliers, screwdrivers, just a few odd and end things you might possibly need to get yourself out of a jam.
Pocket knife, maybe?
Pocket knife, yeah. If you guys don't have pocket knives and stuff like that, I keep, you never know when you might need to, you know, poke a hole in something to get a zip tie through, or just any number of reasons. So just another thing to keep in there. Most of the stuff was going to have scissors and things like that. The emergency packs that you can buy will have most, and you can pick up one of those generic kits that'll have all that stuff in there, just a safety, because you never know what you're going to need when you're out on the road. So just trying to keep you guys one step ahead of calling the tow truck. If you guys are in town, enjoy yourself, guys. It's beautiful weather. We've got a lot of it's in full bloom out here, guys. Springtime is definitely here. Lots of new things that are in the area. Dollywood's, like I said, has added a lot of new rides. We got a lot of new mountain coasters that have opened up. The National Park's doing a lot of amazing things, getting some more parking spots and redoing some trails, paving some stuff, getting you guys some more access for the wheelchair access things, and it's just a lot of things going on in the area. So if you guys are in town, make sure you enjoy yourself. Call us if you need us. And with that being said, we're going to get back to work. We're going to take our Gooloo and get back to work.